So, welcome back to another episode of Business and Bubble Tea. We are delighted to have Patty from Oceanpayment here today. Thank you so much for joining us. And it's actually been quite a while since we last saw you. I reckon it was just before Christmas. So, how have you been? How have you started into the new year?
I'm doing well, thanks for asking. As you know, Shenzhen is a fast-paced city, so work is very fulfilling. Before we knew it, half of 2024 has flown by. So how are your graduate study going? I think it's not easy and wishing you all the best.
Very kind of you.
Thank you very much indeed. Tough time for
I
everyone.
mean, yeah, no, please go ahead.
No, I was just generally stating like it's a very dynamic moment for all of us. That just for that.
Yeah, time is truly flying in Shenzhen. I can't believe it's May already. But speaking of studies, I was intrigued during our last conversation because you told us you actually did study photography in Los Angeles. So how do you go from something rather more on the creative side to now being part of Oceanpayment, which is a cross-border financial payment service? How did that transition work?
Transitioning from the creative art to the fintech sector is definitely a big dip. Two very different realm and the mindset. I studied photography in LA between 2018 to 19. I was really passionate about it. It was set on divide in this field. So I plan to apply the photographer graduate degree in US. But however, the end of the 2019, the pandemic broke out, and I was unable to return to US to continue my photograph studies. So with the time pressing and the reconsidering factor like employability and the adaptability, I complete my MBA in Macau. After graduation, I returned to Shenzhen to start job hunting. I grew up in Shenzhen, so I have a deep affection in here. Shenzhen is also China's most dynamic and the youngest big city. The vibe of Shenzhen can be described in a few words: innovative, pragmatic, and determined, also about enterprising. Those familiar with Shenzhen knows that Nanshan District, especially the Yuehai District, is home to many high-tech companies and is known as Chinese Silicon Valley.
That's a very
Really extensive background. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing that.
No,
I
thanks
mean,
very much.
Right.
if we can maybe break that down again a little bit for the audience, if you could in 2-3 sentences maybe break down what Oceanpayment is in your understanding and what your role in all of this is, just to put it a bit more concise for our audience and give them a brief overview of what the portfolio of Oceanpayment may entail.
Okay, let me introduce. Oceanpayment is a digital payment solution for B2C or small B digital model. So like if you buy something from a foreign website, you need to use us technology, but we are behind the bank, so maybe the consumer can't find us, but actually you are using our service. So like if you ever take the ride from Shenzhen to Hong Kong, you can booking the ticket, right? So when you are booking the cross-border ticket, you are using the Oceanpayment service, but you are the consumer and we are the technology provider. Maybe you don't know it, but actually you are using our service.
Oh, that's very insightful, and I think it's very well explained in a few phrases. What I was maybe curious to know is, like, obviously, as you already mentioned in your explanation about your education and subsequent arrival in Oceanpayment, is that you have a photography degree. And what is very curious for us is that for us, when we initially think about what is Oceanpayment, we would imagine that people would probably have more of a finance or technology degree in order to enter. So what was the experience for you in order to switch between such a rather different environments? Like, what did you have any specific support in transitioning to this kind of new mission?
So especially in regards to onboarding, maybe.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay. So the composition of every company and team is incredibly diverse. Each individual brings a unique background and expertise to collaboratively achieve common goals. So no matter in the industry, the fundamental quality of newcomers in the workplace include effective communication, a readiness to learn, a broad perspective, and a humble, friendly demanders is so important. So from my personal expertise, living and study in US, Australia, mainland China, and Macau has given me a clearly deep understanding of cross-cultural communication. So during my academic years, I participate in internship, visit company, and organize international business events. While this experience did not directly boost my academic performance, so they significantly shaped my character and expand my social and business acumen. The ordinary individual I encountered during my growth have been a powerful source of motivation for me to pursue excellence. So I believe that in today's society, which encounter open-mindedness and lifelong learning, personal academic brand is beneficial, but not always a prerequisite for success.
Okay, thank you.
I mean,
yeah.
You did mention that you're operating globally. You yourself have an incredibly international background. So what would you say the current target profile Oceanpayment is mostly looking for is right now, or specifically also because we have quite a big international audience? What are the opportunities perhaps for somebody not native speaking Chinese or as an international student here in China? What are the opportunities that Oceanpayment is offering to them right now?
Okay, so we, as you know, we are doing the whole global business in Oceanpayments. So we also need new colleagues from the different country, right? And as a company engaged in global business, our team is also proficient in English communication. And however, given that cause to our technology and operational hub based in Shenzhen. So we hope the new college proficient in Chinese. Sorry, wait a minute. Maybe so we will very welcome the international student join us, but not just limited to Shenzhen office, because our office like in Hong Kong, Singapore, Australia, Europe are also very welcome new talented. Whether we recruit international student will open our staffing needs at the time.
I mean, we were talking of these international office throughout the last couple of minutes. I was wondering, in your daily business in the Shenzhen office, how much are you actually interacting with these offices you mentioned in London, Hong Kong, and the US on a daily average? Like, how much of your business is conducted within your team in Shenzhen and cross-border with your other offices?
Just now don't have. I'm each department and position within our organization had its own set of responsibility and task. And with regard to my current role and the scope of my work, my interactions with our overseas branch are not extensive. Nevertheless, I am determined to pursue additional opportunity for international engagement to elevate my value and contribute more activity to our global operation.
No, for sure. And I mean, maybe for our international audience, Oceanpayment is actually one of the leading companies in China. So whenever somebody needs experience about cross-border payments, Oceanpayment is kind of like the go-to partner they have in order to get information about that. So that's pretty cool to know, I think, for everybody. And once you're like, how would you say is maybe the typical career progression within Oceanpayment, and what ongoing learning opportunities do you have? Because you did mention there's quite an extensive onboarding process. So maybe you can talk a little bit more about that.
So if you are a colleague in Oceanpayment, wait, Oceanpayment now is continuing growing and expanding, and also we need to our colleagues have more opportunities to study and the growth, and also
No worries, take your time, take your time. We don't want to rush you.
No worries.
So some of our colleagues have plenty opportunity to go out and participate in events, and the trend show, also about industrial activity, which are great of hands-on learning experience. And internally within our department, we organize study and the reading group where everyone share their latest reading insight and so on. And we also enroll our outstanding and loyal middle and senior manager in course at the famous Chinese university.
Oh, that's okay. That's actually pretty insightful. Maybe one another question to continue on this stream is like, we do imagine that you need to have some kind of financial cultural background, at least to have some general understanding on how finance works, even if you don't have a financial background. Do you provide some kind of in-house training for people or employees that don't have this financial background from the start? Like, is there any ways for them to gradually get adapted to this kind of topics inside of their own missions within the company?
Yeah, we will providing internal financial training for our new hire colleagues. And also, we don't have to every single new colleague know all about financial, because everyone need to study new things. We are very understanding, and if like me, I'm study art originally, but after that, at this process, I also have international site, and also some really expertise. It's also helped me to doing the business things. So we don't need to everyone from finance background, but you are the finance background is well doing the best, doing well, I think. Yeah,
that's good. That's exactly what we were thinking about. Just having a gradual entering inside of the company seems to be a very nice possibility for a lot of us.
I would actually like to kind of connect to that, because we were talking about Oceanpayment being situated in Shenzhen and the global expansion to the different offices, and also your dominant role within the Chinese market. But how competitive would you say is currently that digital cross-border payment solutions environment, particularly maybe also with foreign brands trying to enter China? Can you maybe talk a little bit about that and how the dynamics are currently generally working in the market?
In the global industrial competition, there are 6 or 7 friendly competitors act in this field of cross-border e-commerce, such as PayPal, Aiden, Stripe. I think you must heard about it. Yeah,
I've used a few of them, yeah, every once in a while.
Yeah, so all of them which are great companies. At the same time, we are also numerous innovative digital payment technology company serving the needs of localized e-commercial scenario. So as a payment technology and the service company serving the global cross-border e-commerce model, Oceanpayment facing increasing challenges. So we need to continuously innovate the technology and the service in response the involving e-commerce situation and the consumer experience demand. So the pursuing of competition is indeed growing, but it's also serves as a driving force for our innovation and the development. So we aspire to contribute the growth of commerce and the betterment of the human life through our technical and the service.
Okay, and would you, based on what you just discussed, do you think that the company is in an environment where there's still enough room to naturally grow? Or do you feel that you have to competitively differentiate yourself with ongoing competitors because of the, I mean, I'm sure that there's still enough room to grow, but do you think that this competitive pressure is forcing you to be much different in your offerings compared to before? Is it has it changed recently?
Yeah, the answer is definitely yes. Because as the new technologies such as the internet, communication, and the smart terminal continue evolve and mature, the e-commerce is poised in and to become one of the mainstream business model. With the continuously improvement of consumer expertise, the e-commerce industry and the market and also expect to expand significantly. Therefore, both Oceanpayment and we will have broader opportunity and the prospect for growth.
Actually, I mean, if I can ask a follow-up on that one, because we've been talking so much about current dynamics, potential future directions that this might be going. Based on your own experience from the last couple of years, what do you think would be some great skills for maybe students to develop now if they are particularly interested in entering this industry? Do you maybe have any own personal predictions of where this might be going and what would be good skills to have?
This industrial, I think, would be more and more common, because I think you guys study in China now, so I think you can saw Chinese go out, they don't bring the cash, they don't bring the bullets, they just bring their phone and they can do everything. It's like a magical, yeah. So, but at the same time, it brings something financial problem and data problem. But I think in now in more and more time, in more and more country and district, they will accept this kind of model to life because it's really convenient and really help people doing more things. Also, also approach to more different how to say, like you can booking a ticket, you can give your house to record, but you can also just use your phone but doing everything. So I believe digital payment also will become more and more common in the world.
So the global expansion, I mean, I can for sure talk about that. I was at home over the holidays and I was quite confused when suddenly there was a sign cash only and I was like, what? How is that possible? But
yeah,
maybe if you could just narrow it down to one sentence of something you would advise students to maybe bring with them if they're interested in that industry, like one skill that you think is really paramount to make it in this industry. Because you did mention like the global mindset and being able to kind of go on this journey of taking this technology and making it a common daily product throughout the world. But if you could maybe narrow it down to one piece of advice you would give people looking to enter this industry.
If you mean the specific skill, you mean like photograph or
Not necessarily
cooking
like even
or
just like characteristics or specific interest, whatever you would tell somebody first day in the company, what they can expect from the next couple of years, what would be good for them to have sort of as, yeah.
yeah, I think is continually study. Because you know, like in Shenzhen or maybe in Los Angeles or many like New York, the big city, already changed so fast. Everything changed so fast. Whatever people, the communication, the business, the popular industry is always change. So we need to continually study more, study different, know very about different industrial news, different industrial knowledge. So continue study, living and learn. I think is most important to everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
Giancarlo, what about you? I know you had a question before that, so go for it.
No, I was basically just agreeing to the fact of China and this environment. Do you think that, for instance, maybe this kind of solutions can be easily just applied in foreign countries? Maybe because as we have just talked about, cash is still king in a lot of different countries. Do you think that you have a strategy for these foreign markets where you don't have this kind of exposure to digital payments? And what would you think is the best way to approach this expansion in the future? If you, for additional context, like countries like Italy, Germany, they do approach digital payments in a different way. And I was, for instance, like cash is still very common today. So how would you, as a digital service provider in the financial service, try to approach this in the future? Is there a strategy that you think that Oceanpayment is trying to follow?
Actually, like we are doing a little bit different with the digital payment company. They are doing local business, like they help people don't bring the cash to go out. But we are doing like if you want to buy something from different country, and you can use our digital payment technology to buy it. So it's a little bit different, but we are we need to collaborate together to do something. So if people don't want the change, like Germany, like Italy, they don't want to change now the situation. I also very agree and to support, but I think one day they still need to have some service like us. So, cause you know, in after pandemic, I believe, I think people know we are together. We can't accept. So they need made in China, and we need made in Germany some food, some goods also. So I think that like digital payment technology service, this kind of companies still will work on, because the goods, the people need to try. Need to travel to other countries, so they will definitely need the company like us.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
so for the global supply chain in a way to keep it functioning, especially with like the increasing pace that transactions are going now. So that's
Yeah.
kind of what we will be seeing in the future, I guess, from what you just said, right?
No, I completely understand what you were meaning. It was more like how to sensibilize customers on the advantages and the needs of this kind of new product and services, because I think it is happening in a lot of countries. So it's always nice to see how it's happening in different ways, and how, for instance, Oceanpayment wants to position itself on these future expanding markets. So that's more how I was positioning the question, but I think it was clearly stated, and I think it's a very nice way to say how to collaborate with partners and how to gradually expand to new ventures outside of China. And I think there's a lot of room to grow with. I don't know if you agree with me, Chiara, or everybody else.
For sure. And I mean, also, thank you so much for taking all of these questions on our side. I think it's a lot clearer now for the audience as well. And we're happy to also have more Shenzhen-based companies now joining our podcast. So thank you for that. And also thank you for taking the time tonight. I know it's past your working hours already. So thank you so much for that.
And thank you so much for your times also, please.
Thank you very much. It was very, very insightful, and we hope to see you soon again.
Yeah, welcome to Shenzhen office.
Thank you.
In Nanshan.
Beautiful building. We've been there. Really amazing views.
Yes,
I don't
right.
think you get much better than that in Shenzhen. So
okay, so we're very welcome, and so thank you.
Thank you very much.